It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Okay, we're in the middle of December. 2020 is just a couple of weeks away, and most organizations put together their budgets. Well, at least I hope they did. I hope they're not scrambling around the conference room this time of year because it's too late. But those of you who put together your budgets, I got to ask you a question. How did you budget product-centric mindsets versus customer-centric mindsets? What's the budget? What's the budget to move to a customer-centric deliverable? Or did you just keep things the way they were? Did you keep the budgets all in place and just add a little more dollars to them? We're going to do more of the same. Or did you say, you know what, we're going to let some of that sameness go away and replace it with something new? We're going to budget. We're going to budget to take a chance on the future. Does anybody have any imagination dollars going in their budget? Did anybody sit around and talk about what could be based on what should be and how much are they willing to invest in that? Did anybody talk about what we see in the marketplace from a consolidation standpoint? What we see in the marketplace of threats? Because there's a few threats out there. And folks, I'm afraid a lot of us put together our budgets just like we do every year. We probably waited till November, threw together a quick Excel spreadsheet, talked about what we're going to sell more of. And quite frankly, we got to start thinking about what we're going to do different. And how are we going to fund that difference? In other words, how many of you really have a plan to replace the overspec'd, oversold A3s with A4s? How many of you have a plan to do that? How many of you really have a plan in what you're going to spend and invest in to deliver e-commerce? How many of you have a plan in what you're going to invest in as far as human capital? Have you talked to any recruiters lately? Have you talked to people outside the industry to try to lure them into the industry? Or are you just talking to people that are in the industry and everybody's looking for a new job because they think it's going to be different? They think the grass is going to be greener on the other side. But in all reality, the grass isn't growing that much on either side. And in order for us to diversify, in order for us to change the game, we got to change the game with human capital too. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that next week. We got some special guests coming on the show. But folks, I got to ask you a question. What's in the budget to do something different? And if you hadn't thought about that, you need to think about it quick, because 2020 is just a couple of weeks away. We can't continue to put together our projections based on the way it was. It's time to project the way it's going to be. It's time to project the way you're going to make it. It's time to go where the customer's going and stop delivering through product-centric mindsets and invest. Your organization needs to invest in the customer-centric approach. So I'll ask you again, what's your budget to deliver the future to the present? I'll end my time with this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and have a fantastic day. I'll see you all tomorrow.